So grab an oil pastel, this can be any color you want, and I want you to start with a nice round circle. Now, real people do not have circular heads, but we're going to be inspired by Paul Klee's portrait, which looks a little different, and that's okay. I'm working super lightly here. Next, you're going to add a couple of short vertical lines for the neck and a longer line across the bottom for your shoulders. Now we're going to create kind of a grid across the face just like Klee did. And I want you to watch some of the lines that I'm going to draw. Look at the lines in the portrait that's on the screen there, and then pause the video and spend a few minutes creating some of these same lines. Your grid does not have to be exactly the same as mine. I have 3 vertical lines and 2 horizontal lines breaking up my picture. One really unique characteristic of this portrait is the eyes. Real people will never have eyes that meet in the middle of their face. But I think it's kind of fun. It almost looks like a figure 8. So go ahead and use that top line of your grid to draw kind of a pointy figure 8 shape. And then on down, those to me look like nostrils. He kind of draws them as little squares, but I do think that that's what they represent. So draw something in there that kind of signifies a nose. It doesn't have to look like a real nose. He's also got a few curved lines in there that look like they could be maybe cheekbones or eyebrows. Both sides of this portrait are not symmetrical. Normally with people, what you see on one side is what you see on the other side. But Klee's geometric shapes vary from side to side. You can see the eyebrows on one side of the face don't match up with the other side. I like that. I think it's really fun, and I think it's fun to draw in this way where you don't have to worry about your portrait looking real. It doesn't have to look like your neighbor or your mom or your teacher. These are just fun shapes that do symbolize a person, but they don't have to look just like a person. Of course, we've got eyes, a nose, eyebrows, things that will tell your viewer that it is definitely a portrait of a person. But just as many things that say, hey, I don't look real, and that's okay. You didn't mean for it to look real. Once you kind of have your features in there and you're happy with how they look, use that oil pastel to trace over them again, make your lines a little fatter. Notice I'm using the same color throughout this whole exercise. We'll add in some different colors in a few minutes with paint, so I kind of like using only one color of oil pastel to kind of pull the whole picture together. But if you'd like to use different colors, you can do that too. You are the artist every single time we meet for a lesson. I'm here to give you ideas and suggestions, but you are the artist. I like to vary it a little bit, some thick lines, some skinny lines. I think it looks a lot more interesting that way. Add in any little extra details that you like here, remembering that it doesn't have to look like mine and it doesn't have to look like Paul Klee's. He is just our inspiration for this. Good job. I'll see you in a minute for some color.